Good morning, friends, family, colleagues, internet supporters, and anyone who happens to just stumble across my live stream or replay. Welcome. If you're new here, if you're not, welcome back. I'm always happy to have you join the conversation. Today, I don't really have a lot to talk about. Still unemployed, still trying to figure out the how to navigate the what next. I have put in a number of applications, a few in the last couple of days that I actually had substantial interest in. So, basic housekeeping. Like the video if you enjoy it or if you find value in it. Share if you find value and think someone else might get something out of it. Leave comments. That is the best way to support engagement on my channel. And subscribe if you want to be notified. Subscribe and hit the little bell just to stay in the loop when I go live or post something new. So I am not sponsored. I don't have ad revenue. I don't have brand deals. I don't have channel merchandise. It really is just me sharing my experience and supporting you through yours as well. So we're just here to be supportive and create a community. The biggest update of the week really is my farmers market experience. So you all know that I did a farmers market event on the 13th, and then I did a different farmers market on the 20th. Now, while the revenue was almost identical from event to event, the environment and experience was very different. I really enjoyed the event on the 20th. And that was actually the first one I had signed up to do. I signed up to do that one before I signed up to do the one on the 13th. And while I will do the Santan venue again, the Florence venue was amazing. My space was on a covered porch. It felt kind of old-timey. I was on the end. So I had the railing on two sides, the building to one side, and then a view where I could be seen all the way down to the other end of the of our side of the building. So anyone coming around the corner on the building could see my space from the full length of the porch. That was really cool. I was able to see the other booths that were in the park off the end of the porch. I was able to see the booths and be seen by them as well. The booths off the side of the porch, which were in the parking lot. I wasn't able to see the booths that wrapped around the other two sides of the building. And that's okay. Because I feel like I had a lot more of the customer base traffic being seen from 3 sides instead of just the one side, from the other 2. Well, especially from the front side of the building. It doesn't matter. It was just kind of cool for me. The configuration of my space was a little smaller than I anticipated and a little different than I expected, but I found a way to work that to my advantage. Being on the end, again, with full view from the, the full length and from the parking lot traffic. And then also, the people behind me in the park. It actually worked out okay. And I figured out a better configuration to set up my tables and do my displays for next time, where I can be seen and attract attention even better. And the really cool thing is, during the holidays, because I have the rail on 2 sides, that gives me opportunity to decorate to attract attention in that regard as well. So I'm very much looking forward to it. So the other things that made this one better, just besides being on the old-timey covered porch, which I just thought was fun and, attractive. But this one operated more like a street fair. There were vendors of all natures. I think we had like 50 vendors. It was amazing. There was live music as opposed to recorded music over the loudspeaker. At the Santan event, we actually had live performers. And in addition to that, there was a group of girls dancing, performing for folklorico dance. Now, anyone who doesn't know what folklorico is, it's a hybrid dance. It's a hybrid of traditional dances from Mexico, Native American dances, and Africa, and probably more that I don't bring to mind readily, but it is folk dancing that combines traditions from many different places, and it's really beautiful to watch. It includes the Spanish dancing with the skirt twirling, and it was just really cute. There was, a troop of girls, and I think there was 1 or 2 little boys too. So cute. But it was really fun to watch and just nice to have some cultural infusion into the event. So I did okay. Revenue wise, as I said, almost identical to the Santan. My space cost was exactly the same. I sold the same dollar amount, give or take a couple of dollars, in product. But the difference is I sold a wider range of product. I sold spices, teas, and even my resin, which Santan sales were, even though I had all those things, I only sold tea. So it was nice to see a broader customer base interest, and there was a lot more foot traffic. So Santan Farmers Market, the produce is basically It's a food, kind of like a food rescue. So it's all basically pre-selected. You just go down the line and get what they have. Where Florence was a little bit, um, was not food rescue. It was gardeners and farmers with um, individual fresh produce. So I really only saw one produce booth, but I can't say that they were the only one that were there. Again, I didn't see all the booths from all the way around the building, although I did have a good view of the ones that I did see. There were a few bakers. Um, there were, there was a taco truck, um, a lemonade stand, just a much bigger variety. There were jam makers and pickle makers and um, other crafters, jewelry makers. That there was a really big range. So I was excited to do it. And I definitely want to do that one again. I even told the organizer that I wanted to do it and that I would love to have the same space. So I am actually I have that on my list this week to get on the phone with her and pay for my next space. I'll probably go ahead and register through the end of the year because I was really excited about that one. So, about the unemployment and the job search. I woke up yesterday morning to an email inviting me to apply for a job and attend an online hiring event. The job was not one that I would consider myself highly qualified for. Resume wise, I mean, my personal experience and skills may have qualified me for the actual function of doing the job. It was technical writing for manufacturing manuals. I believe I can do that. I've written process guides and SOPs before, just as part of my job in quality assurance, and even other positions I'd held where I'd had to write my own process guides for my job. So skill-wise, I can do that, but it's never been part of my primary job description other than in my quality assurance position. It's certainly never been a title. I've done a lot of writing, uh, property descriptions, SEO descriptions, and that sort of thing as my role in as an account manager and in quality assurance. Writing was a huge part of my job, but not in the same capacity as the technical manual writing. So I'm confident that if I had been selected, I could do the job. I just don't have the credentials on my resume to the degree that they would have wanted. I applied for the job anyway. They invited me to apply. I applied. I RSVP'd to attend the online hiring event. 10 minutes before the event. Oh. Interesting. Anyway, 10 minutes before the event, they canceled my my reservation to attend. Fine. I knew that they wouldn't think I was a good fit, at least not by my resume. Is it what I really want to do? Probably not. Writing technical manuals for manufacturing, I could do the work. I'm just not sure it would have been a great fit for me personally or for them. So my feelings not hurt at all. And that's okay. Not every job is meant to be that way. I did have a hiring event last week, and I may or may not have done an update after I did that hiring event. Mostly it was them telling me about the job. They didn't really ask me any questions. I had a few questions for them, which I did ask. And then my time was up and that's that. And they moved on. However, it is a job that I feel would be a really good fit for me. It was an account manager job. I have several years of experience in an account manager role. And it was fully remote. The pay was fair. I the base pay was a little low, but the commission on top of it was good. So there's no reason I could not do that job and make it work for me. As far as I can see, I have not heard back from them inviting me to uh, an actual formal interview, but I'm really hoping for one. It's a reputable company. It's one I've applied to before for a different position. And then there was another job that I've seen over the last several weeks, posted multiple times, that still is unfilled at another well-known company doing a job very similar to what I was doing before with a more elevated leadership aspect to it that I felt would be a really good fit. So I'm also hoping to hear back on that one. Nothing yet. We all know that these things take time. Sometimes it can be 2 or 3 weeks before you even hear back. So I'm not in soul crushing devastation at the moment. I am waiting to hear back on both of those and hoping that I do hear back on at least one, if not both. Both jobs would be a very good fit for me. And the more advanced leadership role, I think, would be the better fit for me. But the other one's still a good fit. So that's where I'm at. In the meantime, I have also found a site online that lets you get certifications in different things for free. The only thing you pay for is your actual certificate at the end. And so I'm getting through the coursework and doing those. I'm not paying for the certificate issuing yet because those are, it's a little expensive. It's like $45, I think, per certificate. So I'm doing the work, getting the credential complete, and then when I need it, or after I have money coming in a little bit more, um, a little bit more substantially sustaining, I I will pay for the actual physical certificates at that time. So I took one, which was kind of, I don't know, redundant to my experience because it was an introduction to quality assurance. Okay, why did I need that? I didn't, but I thought it would be just a good thing to, just to have a little boost. I can add it to my resume. Okay, whatever. But there are a couple that are a little more, um, just a little more street cred, if you will. Um, and that is Six Sigma. So I have started my yellow belt certification for Six Sigma. Now, I have an introduction to Six Sigma already through my previous employer. We used um, the principles in a couple of my job positions. We had a free workshop several years ago. I think that some of my work it applied to better than other job functions that I had. And I mean, that's okay. It was not a requirement or a primary need for my job in any way. It was just kind of extra experience, if you will. So I did go ahead and sign up for the yellow belt certification. I will, when I get through that, I'll see if I want to pursue a more advanced um, certifications in Six Sigma. I also signed up for ISO 9001. That one is a little more customer based, which is where my expertise is. So I'm definitely going to put the focus on those two certifications. It's about 15 hours worth combined. I can get those on my resume, and that may help with attracting attention to the right roles for myself. I'm hoping so. Um, and if not, no harm, right? Self improvement, professional growth, always a good thing. Always a good thing. So that's my mission this week is to get through my certifications and then evaluate um, which ones I want to work on next. I started to take a SQL course. I did take an introduction to SQL, and I should probably get that on my resume. I looked at and considered a um, more official SQL training, and I may go ahead and do that, but I really want to get through the ISO and Six Sigma first, or at least this round first. And then I can, just kind of layer on more over time. I do not want to burn out. And I definitely see myself headed that way because I like to go all in, get, I even did this in high school. I took the hardest classes first and the biggest course load in the first semester each year. And, even in cosmetology school, I had to take some time off after having some surgery and some other life events. And when I came back, I was, I was in school 14 hours a day. I starting at, like 8:30 in the morning and not getting out till 9:30 at night. So I don't know. That's maybe not 8 hours or 14 hours a day, what? 8:30 to 8:30 is 12. Like, yeah, 12 to 13 hours a day. And so I would take the day classes, the night classes. I was in school on Saturdays. And, back then, I was 19, 20 years old. And now I'm not. So I'm trying to pace myself a little better than I used to. Um, my approach to work in general is to pace myself and keep an even steady flow, uh, except when it's a passion project. And learning is definitely a passion for me. So I am also a little bit in a sense of urgency, which makes a difference too. And that gives me a tendency to want to, instead of pacing myself the way I would in my paid occupation, I just want to throw myself in and do it all and get it done and be done with it and then move on to the next thing. But it's easy to burn out that way. And I know because I've been through that in my paid occupation as well. I went years where I was working 6 days a week and, putting in 50 to 60 hours a week to get the overtime. And it does eventually take a toll. So I am trying to back off and balance that a little bit more and remind myself. And I know I sound like I'm contradicting myself. Do I either take a balanced approach or do I go, at an intense rate? And it's a little bit of both. So, kind of cyclical and depending on the situation. So I don't mean to contradict myself. It's just, it's contextual, I guess is the better way to put it. So for my training now, because I'm not trying to build my career from scratch, and I'm not going through vocational training or trying to get my degree through the shortest path possible. This is continuing education. I have had some mixed feelings. It's a little bit less of a sense of urgency because I have a career, I have experience, I have a ton of experience and credentials behind me for the career that I've had. There is a sense of urgency in that I'm coming up on 3 months of unemployment and I want to get back to work. On that note, I do have another project I'm working on because I'm me, and when do I not have 12 different projects in process at the same time that I will be very excited to share once I get it up and running. But it is related to my previous job and my expertise in customer service and quality assurance. So I am a little bit excited to be starting this new thing. Yes, I'm still working on my book. Yes, I'm still working on my life coaching certification in addition to my technical certifications. I am still working on building my tea business and my resin. I'm doing all of it And in this, I am trying to be a little bit more incremental about it. So just know I'm not bored. I'm not sitting around wasting time. And that is another thing that I think we should talk about. I might dedicate um, a whole video to talking about time management and time use perception. So think about that. Because when you're unemployed, people think that you have all this time on your hands and that you're sitting around doing nothing, and that the only thing you should be spending any time on at all is looking for a job. And, we've talked about that a little bit. So give me a hot minute. And I think I'm going to actually do a video, not today, but I may actually do a whole segment just on that specific topic, because I think it needs to be addressed, not just for our own mental health and emotional well-being, but also for our loved ones. Because people do have a lot of misconceptions about what we're doing, um, especially when they can't see us out handing out resumes and filling in paper applications, because we do it all online. So it looks like we're just sitting around playing on the computer, and that's not the case. So anyway, just some thoughts. Leave me your comments, suggestions. Tell me what you want to talk about. This community isn't just about me and my experience. Let's talk about you as well. And what can I do to help, uh, provide information or navigate the system for you? Give me your topic suggestions. I am so here for it. This is a community. We're here to support one another through all of these life changes and processes. So, in the meantime, I think I've exhausted what I had to say for today. So, stay blessed, stay authentic, and stay connected. I will see you next time. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have the best day.